Got to be faithful. Got to be faithful. You don't bury it under a rock. You just go spend it on Amazon. But I mean, like, and so I always hear these people talking about these big testimonies, and I was in a street gutter, and God, I feel like God in my life has been rescuing me one phone call at a time, one Venmo at a time, one situation at a time, one prayer at a time. And every time that I was going through it, I would call my friends, and I would say, yeah, it's me again. I mean, I have this like text people. I might be blocked by them, but I text them all the time. I'm in it again. I'm in it again. Please pray for me. And I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's wrong. I wasn't going on Facebook and, like saying I'm in it again, send cash to this. No, I mean, I could have done that. I was open, but sometimes you got to get off Facebook and get on your face. And I had to pray so many times for strategy, right? I had to pray for strategy because I'm like, God, what do you have for me? Because I know that I'm called. I know I have a purpose. I know I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to do. And I'm going to get through this like the rest of the country and the rest of the world. We were all going through similar situations, right? And then I got COVID really, really late in the game. I got it in 2022, and that's just lame, and I couldn't even tell anybody I got COVID. So I just told them I got diphtheria because I wanted like a meal train, And then I lost my taste, and I'm not one of those people that lost weight during COVID. I just kept eating chocolate because mentally I knew it was good, right? Chocolate mashed potatoes in my eyes, like tastes good. So then I felt like God was telling me to move out of Los Angeles. I'll kind of end with this last story. And I'm like, move out of Los Angeles. I've been here for so long, and I'm making movies and doing this. But God was like, no, I have something for you. I have something for you. And so we went around the country and decided that it was going to be Sacramento because He likes to test me. And so, it's beautiful there, and I was looking at houses, and I just felt in my heart, this is what happened. I'm a single mom, and here I am trying to get a house again, and that crazy house that God blessed, and they fixed up the mold, and they didn't even call it mold on the report, so I could sell the house. And so I don't think it was mold. I don't know. It was crazy. So I was going to sell the house in Los Angeles, and God was very faithful. There were some bumps in the road. And I said, I know you have a place for me. The town He told me to move was called Fair Oaks, and they have chickens that walk up and down the streets there, and it's like a Hallmark movie. And I knew there was going to be a lumberjack just like waiting for me because he just got off work at his corporate banking job, and I just knew it. I love it when God plans, right? I planned it. God, go with me. And so I'm going to move to Fair Oaks. I'm going to get a house. I bid on this house. Boom, I get outbid. Like, it's so hard to get a house, right? And I'm like, oh, it's my dream house. I love it. Oh, and then I find this second house. I'm like, it's really pretty. Boom, I get outbid. The kids are enrolled in school. And so the third house, I'm like, oh, this is a really beautiful house. And so my daughter and I wrote a list of what we wanted in a house. Me and the two daughters, we wrote a list. I was like, a kitchen, like windows. Lucy's like, name higher. She's like, no, I want my own room, and I want a backyard. I'm like, oh, I want trees. I really want trees. And I want a place for you guys to play, and I want neighbors that like me, and just like little things that you don't get in LA. And so I don't want them to have a restraining order against me, just little things. And I was like, oh, and when you just start dreaming, and God's like, you're not dreaming big enough. You're just not dreaming big enough. And I was like, okay, I want like a patio, and I want a 2-car garage. I want a 2-car garage. I want 2 bathrooms. Yeah. Okay, and so then we put it all out, and we put it on a piece of paper, and then I was looking and I was like, fine, I don't know what's going to happen. And if you're buying a house and you don't live there, you see a house on the internet, and that's how I was looking at houses, at the virtual tours. And I found the house. This was a beautiful, gorgeous house. 3 bathrooms. A laundry room just for laundry. I mean, you guys, Donald Trump, look out. Okay, this is like the house. Brick. Fancy. This house is so fancy. They give out full-size candy bars on Halloween. Okay, this is how fancy this house is. And I knew it was my house, and it's beautiful. And I called my realtor. I said, get over there right now and go do a tour and tell him this is my house. And so she did, and we did the tour, and this was on a Thursday, and I went under the couch, and I found money, and then I went under the other couch, and I found money, and I wrote them a letter, and I sent them adorable pictures of my children, and I was like manipulating them emotionally, and I said, yes, I want to buy your house. And so then I put an offer on the house, and my realtor was like, you're in. You're in. They just fill out an escrow, and they love you, and they love the house, and this was on a Friday, and I was going to do comedy. So I'm about to do the comedy show, and like any good comic, I have to check Facebook. And so, or whatever, I was checking my phone or something to emotionally prepare. And I look, and the house that she said is my house, they have an open house for the next morning. Excuse me? And so I called Laura, my realtor, after the show, and she said, I called her, Kerri, this has never happened in all my years as a realtor, but they like your offer so much that they're going to have an open house and see if they can leverage other buyers to give them more money. And they said, thank you, but no thank you. Hey, this is all part of the game. This is what the realtor said. I was like, oh, no, they didn't. You don't even know the power of prayer. I'm going to pray that open house tank so hard. I'm going to pray it's like haunted. I'm going to pray there's like dead bodies in the driveway. I don't even know, because my God is faithful. God's like, that's not biblical, but whatever. Okay, so I go to my friend's house Saturday. I was devastated, just devastated. And they had the house Saturday, didn't hear anything. Had the open house on Sunday, didn't hear anything. And my realtor's like, you just got to back out. You can't let them play you like that. You got to take your offer. I'm like, well, that's my house, and God's going to get me. He's going to get me that house. And then Monday, I didn't hear anything. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, nothing. I'm just freaking out. So I call the realtor. I go, I didn't hear anything. No news is good news. She goes, oh, no, that open house was awesome. They have 3 offers. I was like, okay, did I not pray in tongues? What happened? Did I not pray? What happened? This is my house. So I start looking at rental properties. And rental properties are so expensive. And this was Thursday night. All day Thursday, I'm looking at rental properties. I'm like, God, you told me to live in Fair Oaks. You told me to live by the chickens. This is my house. I know it's my house. I feel in my spirit it's my house. And my daughter's like, a lot of other people probably feel it's our house too. I'm like, thank you, Lucy, for your emotional support. If you're not with me, you're not getting your own room. It's going to be a craft room, okay? It's going to be Pinterest. You're bunking with your sister in the garage. So I'm combing my hair, and I'm praying, combing my hair, and God says, give. He says, give right now. I'm like, okay, well, all right. This is really big, God. He says, give. And there was a friend of mine who's a single mom, and I was selling my house in LA, right? And so I had some money to give. And I think when God says to give big, it's because he's going to give big, but you don't know. So he's like, you go first, right? God's like, you take the first step. Like the Israelites, when he's like, I know you guys are looking for a helicopter, but I'm about to part the Red Sea, but you got to walk in. You guys just got to take one step, and I'm going to get you the whole way through. Because in the Bible, he says, when you walk through the waters, I will be with you, in the book of Isaiah, right? When you walk through the fires. So I'm in this fire because I don't know where I'm going to live. I don't know what's happening, and he's saying give. He's like, I want you to give to your church right now. I want you to give to this single mom who's a good friend of mine. So I get out my Venmo because I love to be a blessing, because sometimes we're in a season where we get given to, and sometimes we can be in a season where we give. And I think that God likes us to be on both sides of that coin because we never get too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what that's like to be the one that's given to when I don't have anything to give. And I love to be the person that gives. So I just Venmo'd my friend. She calls me up crying. She said, you don't even understand. My ex-husband lost his job, and I haven't been getting child support, and I didn't know how I was going to pay your bills, and you got that Venmo, and it just came right in time, and I can pay all my bills. And I was just so happy, and we were having a moment, right? And then I gave some money to my church, and it was like really fun, not really knowing what God was up to. That was a Thursday. My phone rang at 9:30 p.m. on a Thursday night, and this all happened at 7:30. At 9:30 p.m., my realtor called and said, well, they called from that house, and they had 3 offers. And every single one of those offers fell through, Kerri. So they want to know if you want the house. And I said, yes. And I put an offer, and I got that house the next day. And that's my house. 3 bathrooms. And 1, I don't even let the kids go in. It's like they can't even. I got the good towels from Howard Johnson. And the Delta blanket. It's awesome. And you guys, I'm still walking this out every single day, and I was thinking about sharing that with you because we've all had these journeys, right? And money's really uncomfortable to talk about. And then I was like, well, that's going to sound pretentious, like, oh, I got a house. But you know what? Maybe when I became a single mom, I don't think I had 2 nickels to rub together. I mean, for real. And the enemy was just like, it's over for you. This comedy thing is over. You're disqualified. You and your comedian husband aren't married anymore. Nobody's going to respect you. Nobody's going to listen to you. And I was just so lost and so sad. And then I just felt like God just said, you're not disqualified because you're my daughter. And there's nothing that's ever going to disqualify anybody in this room from telling anybody about the goodness of God. There's nothing that's going to disqualify us from believing that no matter what our circumstances look like, that God is still good. I got asked to be in a club of being a divorced single mom that I did not want to be a member of. But you know what I told the devil? I said, you don't understand me. I am a woman who knows my authority. And now you just gave me another platform because I can speak to that other single mom out there someday. And I'm going to tell her how I got through it with the faithfulness of my God. I'm going to be able to talk to somebody who's in a situation. And I said, I got through that with the faithfulness of my God. When my daughter was struggling to survive and she was in the NICU and I didn't want to be a NICU mom. And I said, I will get through this with the faithfulness of my God. Because I will tell you one thing, no matter where the devil tries to stick you, God will get you out if you will trust him. Do you understand me? If you will trust him. So I don't know if it's about a house. I don't know if it's about a job. I don't know if it's about a marriage. But if there is a situation in your life and all God is saying to you right this very minute is trust me. Because I'm going to make a way, daughter, where it looks like there is no way. I'm going to make a way. Don't you give up because my dreams are bigger than your dreams. My ways are bigger than your ways.